Welcome FMAC community, students, families, friends, and visitors. Always good to have you with us. Now this week and next week, our talks will introduce students to the Black Belt Club characters and the Blights. At FMAC, one of our major goals is to teach students how to make good decisions. To achieve this, we use the image of a crossroad. And that represents the moment when an important decision has to be made. Now, I'm going to ask two of our characters to join us here, and they're going to kind of explain to you how the crossroad idea works. This is Dippy, and that's his dad, okay? And they've had a lot of experience with this crossroad here, so they're going to kind of get us going and understanding it. Dippy, this is a crossroad. Every time someone has to make a decision, they stand at a crossroad like this one. Any kind of decision? Well, any decision that involves choosing between two different choices that have lasting consequences. I'm not sure I understand. All right, well, for example, choosing between whether or not to do what a parent or a teacher asks you to do can have lasting consequences. Like what? Well, if you grow up choosing not to listen to what parents or teachers ask you to do, what will happen on your first job when your boss asks you to do something? Chances are you'll either choose not to do it or come up with an excuse why you can't do it. That one bad decision could get you fired. Without a job, how do you support yourself or your family? Wow. So every decision I make now can affect what happens to me later on. That's right, Dippy. Our decisions determine what our lives will be like. What can make important decisions difficult is conflicting thoughts of what to do. That conflict is what places us at a crossroad. On one hand, we have positive thoughts that help us make good decisions. Positive thoughts come from the Black Belt characters. On the other hand, we have negative thoughts that can cause us to make bad decisions. Negative thoughts come from the Blights. Resolving the conflicts from these two groups of characters helps us to make the best decisions. Let's begin with the Black Belt characters and understand how they help us make good choices. And the Black Belt characters begin with Modesty. Modesty is being humble about what you can do and what you've already done. If you have a skill that you can do, maybe a sport, maybe dance or gymnastics or anything at all that you've worked at and gotten kind of good at, that's terrific. But if you brag about that and make others feel kind of left out, that they can't do what you can do, that's not being very modest. Okay? The other thing too about modest people, they respect parents and teachers. Remember, one of the best ways to show respect is follow the rules. Okay? Integrity is about being responsible and helping out around the house. Now, maybe you've come out one day and saw mom or dad who look kind of like this sitting on a couch. She doesn't look very happy. Do you think those are her toys or the kids' toys? Yeah. And it looks like she might be a little upset that they didn't pick up after themselves. If you take things out, put them back when you're done. It's such an easy thing to do, but that's having integrity, especially if you do it without being asked. That's the other key part of that. Okay? And then what can happen if you begin picking up after yourself, you can get a mom that looks like this to become a mom that looks like this. Okay? Now, perseverance, never ever give up working towards your goals. Here's a scientist about 100 years ago, Thomas Edison. He was tired of bumping into things at night when he was looking for his remote to the TV because there were no lights yet. So he decided he was going to invent the electric light bulb. Now, nothing had been done like this before, so he had to go into his lab and start really from just ideas he had. He put all the little pieces together, he threw the switch, and nothing happened. So he tried a few more times, nothing happened. He got to 100 and then 500 and then 1,000 times, and it didn't work. 5,000, it didn't work. It's when he got to almost 10,000 tries that the lights finally went on. That's perseverance. That's believing that you are moving forward towards your goal all the time. His notes, a lot of his notes are online. You can go and read them. He would talk about how I figured out another way today that it does not work. I'm getting closer to the solution. That's fantastic. He didn't see any of that as failure. He saw all of that as he's getting a step closer to what the answer really is. Okay? Oh, let me say one other thing too. Now, he was a little boy once, like you are little folks right now. And he invented a whole bunch of things, not just the light bulb. Now, somebody sooner or later is going to come up with a cure for cancer. It's bound to happen, just a matter of time. And that person might be one of you. And I don't just say that. He was a little boy in a classroom just like you are right now. But if you're going to do something like that, to change the world a little bit, to make the whole world a little bit better, you're going to have perseverance. If you give up the first time things get rough, you'll never get anything meaningful done. But if you hang in there and learn to keep working towards that goal, look out, people should stand out of your way. Okay? Self-control, control your actions, control your words. Next time you're about to explode because of something someone said or something did, stop for a moment, ask yourself what could happen. All right, you want to pick up this car and you want to throw it at someone. Well, what could happen? Somebody could get hurt. All right, and is that what you really want? So next time, take a moment and stop. Don't ever say or do anything when you're really angry or really upset. Any of those emotions, people call different things different things. Don't ever, ever do anything when you're feeling that way, because you're going to do something wrong. All right, our emotions override our senses sometimes when we're really, really, really upset. So before you Hulk out, stop, think about what you are about to do or say, and is that really what you want? Okay? Indomitable Spirit is that inner strength to overcome any obstacle to your goals. Well, it's good to have a goal. It gives you something to work towards. But if you have a goal, chances are good something's going to get in the way, keep you from getting it. You can give up like most people do, or you can plan ahead. That if these obstacles come, you already have a plan in place to deal with them, so you can break right through them and make it to your goal. That's also perseverance, isn't it? Okay? And then the other part of Indomitable Spirit is learning that sometimes you win and sometimes you learn. There is no such thing as losing if you've gone out and done the best that you can do. If you take a math test and you get a 78 and that's the best that you can do, I'll be one of the first ones to say, well, good for you. Okay? Don't ever think you're a failure. Don't ever think you're a loser just because somebody did something a little bit better. All right? You're not a loser. You're not like that at all. If it's a competition thing, figure out what you got to do to get better. Ask the judges. Ask the people who are scoring, whatever it is. Okay? And they'll give you some good information. And then you will have learned. And finally, wisdom is the knowledge and understanding that comes from years and years and years of experience. Your grandparents would be some of the best folks to ask about wisdom and how they look at things as opposed to the way they did when they were younger. But you can begin developing wisdom today by reading. Reading is the one thing that you can do to make you smarter. What do you say? Reading makes you smarter. It raises IQ scores for the parents that are listening. Okay, raises standard achievement scores you have to take to get into college in some schools. Reading is the thing most associated with improving your smarts. So read. And read something you like. I know you got to read things at school, but maybe you don't like poetry. Well, don't say you hate reading just because the school says you got to read some poetry. That's something you just got to do in school sometime. Get books on things that you really enjoy. All right, go on journeys in your imagination. And that's how you're going to find yourself getting smarter and smarter. And that's our introduction to the black belt characters. Now, next week, it's going to be a good one. You're going to learn about the blights. Now, I know you know a little bit about some of them, but we're going to give you some backstory so you really know about these folks and the negative thoughts that they can give you. And we are even going to show you how you can actually defeat a blight. And look at this. You can actually earn a little membership card that says that you beat that blight. And we have these for all 6 of the blights. That might be something you might want to try to achieve, getting all 6 of those cards. All right, we'll do that starting next week. And until your next visit, stay safe and stay well.